Deborah Bennett, artist in residence at Levine Cancer Institute in Charlotte. This is the first of numerous knitting videos that I have created to help you get started knitting. Among other things, knitting can help relieve stress, reduce depression and anxiety, and help you feel more in control. Who doesn't want that? So let's get started. Our first technique is called casting on. First, you need a set of knitting needles and some yarn. As a beginner, we are just going to learn some basic techniques, so any size needle or any type of yarn is fine for now. For this demonstration, I am using size 10 needles and this red wool yarn. There are three main techniques you need to know in order to knit. This video shows you the first technique, which is called casting on. Casting on is the process in which you put stitches on a needle, which serve as the initial base of stitches that you will then knit from. Once you have stitches on your needle, you are ready to knit them. Knitting is the second technique, which you can find in our next video. And lastly, you need to know how to finish your project so that the stitches stay in place once you take them off your needle. And this technique is called binding off. And you will find those instructions in our third video. First, we need to make a slip knot and put it on one of our needles. To make a slip knot, just take the tail end of your yarn, wrap it around your index finger twice. You'll see I left about a 6-inch tail here. Hold the yarn in your left hand, pull the bottom loop over the top loop, and then pull the new bottom loop over the top loop and off your finger. Pull it tight, insert your needle into the loop, and you have your first cast on stitch. So this is a real crucial step, so let's make sure we have it down by doing it one more time. Take your yarn, wrap it around your index finger twice, pull the bottom loop over the top loop, and then pull the new bottom loop over the top loop and off the finger. Tighten it up, insert your needle through the loop, and pull. There is your first cast on stitch. Our next goal is to cast on many more stitches onto the needle that is on your left hand. We do this by taking the other needle with your right hand and insert it into the stitch and go behind your left needle. Kind of form an X with your needles. Now, take the yarn that's connected to the ball of yarn and wrap the yarn around the needle in the back, which is your right needle. And using your index fingers on both of your hands to hold your work in place so it doesn't fall off the needles, pull that right needle through that stitch on your left needle, and then separate the needles just a little. And again, using your index fingers to hold the work on your needles, go and get that stitch with your left needle and take it off the right needle. Did you see how I did that? Now we have two casted on stitches. I'm going to continue to do a few more so you can kind of see the pattern here. Take your right needle and insert it through the top stitch on your left needle. Go behind the left needle, form the X, and holding the needles and the yarn in your left hand, take your right hand, wrap it around the back needle, and then pull it through that top stitch. Separate the needles a little, holding your index fingers at the top of your needles to hold your work on the needles. We don't want to lose that work. Go and get that stitch from the front and take it off the right needle. Let's do another one. Insert the right needle through the top stitch on your left needle. Wrap the yarn around the back needle, which is the right needle. Holding your work with your index fingers, pull that needle through the top stitch. Separate the needles, holding your index fingers at the top, holding onto your work. Go and get that stitch and put it on the left needle. We're now up to 4 cast on stitches. Let's do one more just to make sure you're comfortable. Taking your right needle, put it through the top stitch on your left needle, holding the work in your left hand. Take your right hand, wrap it around the back needle, pull it through that top stitch, separate your needles, using your index fingers to hold the work on the needles. Go and get that stitch and put it on your left needle. Once you have this rhythm down, you are ready to knit these stitches, which is the next technique on our next video. Please know that knitting is much easier than casting on. So once you feel comfortable with casting on your stitches, you'll be knitting in no time. So keep practicing, develop that muscle memory, and you are ready for video 2, learning the knit stitch. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching. For more information, visit us online, send us an email, or give us a call. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when new videos are released. And most of all, be well.